Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. First, the headlines. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed shall chair the Sultan's delegation at the 35th Summit Conference of Leaders of Gulf Cooperation Council countries. Municipal Council's seminar recommends importance of applying all provisions of Municipal Council law, its executive regulations, and activation of Municipal Council's responsibilities. Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development announces an initiative to register for obtaining industrial plots for the right of benefit. And the 44th Glorious National Day exhibition is opened for craft industries in the Governorate of Dhofar. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received 2 cables of thanks from His Highness Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, Emir of the State of Kuwait, in reply to His Majesty's cable of condolences on the death of Sheikh Talal Nasser Sabah and Nasser Al-Mubarak Al-Sabah and Sheikha Fatima Al-Azbi Al-Muhammad Al-Sabah. On behalf of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, shall tomorrow leave the Sultanate for the State of Qatar to chair the Sultan's delegation at the 35th Summit Conference of the Leaders of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, which is due to be held in Doha on Tuesday, the 9th of December. The Sultanate, under the leadership of His Majesty the Sultan, is continuously keen to support the Gulf Cooperation March in order for the Council countries to achieve a further growth and prosperity for the people and to contribute in efforts aimed to prevail peace and stability in the region. His Highness will be accompanied by an official delegation comprising of His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masood As-Sunaidi, Minister of Commerce and Industry, and His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Muhammad As-Saidi, Minister of Legal Affairs. The delegation will also include a number of officials in the government. Municipal Council seminar in its closing activities recommended the importance of applying all provisions of Municipal Council law and its execution regulations besides activating responsibilities of the municipal councils. It also recommended to support partnership between Municipal Council and the private sector in all governorates and to activate coordination with bodies concerned to prepare development programs and to enlist priorities of development projects of all governorates, as well as to establish database and information of Municipal Council regarding development plans and programs. The 2-day seminar discussed it through 7 work papers presented by specialists and academics to host of matters related to municipal law and its executive regulations. Oman Poetry Festival in its 9th edition was launched in the Wilaya of Nizwa today under the auspices of His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Hinai, State Advisor, with the attendance of His Highness Sayyid Haytham bin Tariq Al Saeed. 30 poets, besides intellectuals, literates from inside and outside the Sultanate, take part in the 5-day festival. The first edition was launched in the Wilaya of Nizwa in 1998. It comprised instant delivering of poems before the audience, as well as intellectual seminar to highlight interrelations of Omani cultural movement for individuals, institutions and media. His Excellency Sheikh Hamid bin Hilal Al-Ma'mari, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Heritage and Culture for Cultural Affairs, said that 15 classical and 15 other traditional scripts have been selected to participate in the event, indicating that all participants will be honored. Oman Association for the Disabled marked World Disabled Day, which falls on the 3rd of December every year. The celebration aimed to spread awareness and to take the necessary measures to develop the disabled condition. His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed presided over the ceremony. The World Disabled Day, which came under the theme "My Life is More Beautiful with Hope," included a number of items such as a play under the theme "Speak My Language to Understand You." Al-Amal Deaf School presented a show titled "The Sound of the Deaf." A national item, Oman Qaboos, is also performed. Strengthening parliamentary relations and cooperation between the State Council and the Senate Council of Poland were within the context of the meeting of His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud Al-Manthari, Chairman of the State Council, with the delegation of Parliamentary Friendship Committee of the Polish Senate Council, led by His Excellency Senator Michał Safernicki, who are currently on a visit to the Sultanate at an invitation from the State Council. They stressed the role of visits to strengthen relations and to look into possibility of opening new aspects of cooperation for mutual benefit. The guest expressed his satisfaction and that of his delegation of their visit to the Sultanate and their admiration of qualitative shift in various development fields witnessed by the Sultanate under the leadership of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. Omani Polish committees held a session of talks which they reviewed relations between the two countries and ways of strengthening them in various fields. The two sides also discussed bilateral parliamentary cooperation aspects of economic, industrial, academic and cultural cooperation. The Polish side received a proposed draft of Memorandum of Understanding towards cooperation between the two state councils and the State Council to study it. His Excellency Dr. Rashid bin Asafi Al-Khuraibi, Chairman of the Tender Board, presented clarifications of tenders procedures when implementing projects. That was during the opening of the 4th session of the Shura Council. More details with Asif bin Khalfan Al-Kindi in the following report.
An extended discussion has been witnessed today at Shura Council, focusing on the presentation conducted by His Excellency Dr. Rashid Al-Khuraibi, Chairman of Tender Board, who shed light on the flotation sequence and regulations of tenders during the preparation stage for project tenders. The Shura members mainly focused on the high cost of the amendments and projects. However, Dr. Al-Khuraibi clarified to the Shura members that the amendments and changes in projects has been reduced this year and is 17% lower than the last year figures. Meanwhile, many members accepted the recommendations and solutions suggested by His Excellency the Chairman of Tender Board, particularly the revision of the criteria used to precisely select capable enterprises and companies before working on projects. Another suggestion that was discussed during today's debate was the need to pay more attention to small and medium-sized enterprises and give them more opportunities to execute some projects. During the debate, His Excellency also clarified the rapid growth on human resources in the Tender Board and providing them with sufficient training. The Shura Council has another session tomorrow in which they will be informed with some replies from the government sector based on parliamentary inquiries raised by the Shura members. Saif Al-Kindi for English News, Muscat.
Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development held a ceremony to launch 5 new initiatives, namely business incubators centers, entrepreneurs newspapers, as well as opening the registration for industrial land plots for beneficiaries right, in addition to entrepreneur card and commence procedures to establish entrepreneur club. The authority also signed on handling over a number of businesses incubators to a group of youth entrepreneurs. With the participation of 800 domestic companies, Oman Oil Refineries and Petroleum Industries Company OPEC organized the third annual Forum for Suppliers. The forum aimed to find new business opportunities in the Sultanate and real stage for the suppliers. OPEC's strategy includes investment in grant projects which are expected to reach $7 billion and will change the company in the next 4 years. In 2018, OPEC will become the main production for petrochemicals in the Sultanate, in addition to its main activities in oil refining and providing the Sultanate's fuel energy. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Photography Society celebrates the inauguration of a 21st annual exhibition for photography in the Wilaya of Asib. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, received His Excellency Sameh Shukri, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt. They discussed matters of mutual concern and ways to enhance them in various fields, in addition to exchanging points of a number of regional and international matters of joint concern. During its fourth meeting, Civil Service Council discussed training plans for government units for 18,519 employees inside and outside the Sultanate and mechanism of administrative follow-up of implementation by the Ministry of Civil Service. They also covered a number of topics related to organizing vocational status of some employee categories, as well as some appointments and contracting demands for some technical jobs. It was headed by His Excellency Sheikh Khalid bin Omar Al Marhoun, Minister of Civil Service. Major General Salim bin Musallam Qatan, commander of the National College of Defense, received a delegation from the Naval College of Supreme Command of India, led by Rear Admiral Monty Kahan. They touched upon a number of topics in training and academic fields. They also discussed issues related to scientific curricula and educational level adopted by National College of Defense and academic linkage with Sultan Qaboos University. Royal Guard of Oman held a ceremony to mark its Retirees Day on a shooting ground affiliated to Training Brigade in Halban, coinciding with the anniversary day of retirees of Sultan's armed forces. The retirees who dedicated themselves to perform their task and presented noble services were honored. The honoring is a continuation of His Majesty's grant to the dedicated men of the military sectors. His Excellency Hussein bin Ali Al-Hilali, Prosecutor General, met with a judicial delegation from Kuwait that discussed ways of enhancing and updating work mechanisms and exchanging expertise. During the meeting, His Excellency talked about the geographical expansion of Prosecution General employment of judicial and administrative cadres, as well as enhancing mechanisms of advanced technology to facilitate conducting cases. He introduced to the delegation methods of coordination between Prosecution General and other suing bodies in the Sultanate. The delegation highlighted the field of judiciary work in the state of Kuwait. The two sides exchanged expertise in speeding up ruling cases, updating legislations and laws in a way to keep up with the developments. Organized by the Ministry of Health and with the cooperation of private hospitals in the Sultanate, the health insurance seminar at private health institutions was held. The seminar, which witnessed interactive by those concerned in this field, was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Sultan bin Yarab Al-Busaidi, consultant of the Ministry of Health for Health Affairs. 70 participants from various governmental and private institutions concerned with health insurance discussed a number of topics related to health insurance, such as challenges which faced providers of healthcare services in the Sultanate and insurance companies, in addition to regulatory controls taken by the Gulf Cooperation Council countries in providing health insurance services. The seminar focused on health insurance from different aspects and reviewed a number of experiences in this insurance service in the Sultanate, United Arab Emirates, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and India. A press conference held on a sideline of the seminar clarified health insurance and its related issues. A number of aspects related to cybersecurity and limit internet crimes discussed at the workshop of building abilities to enhance cybersecurity at Arab region. This workshop is implemented by Information Technology Authority in cooperation with ISQA. The two-day workshop reviewed challenges related to cybersecurity and e-crimes, in addition to the most important procedures followed in the world to limit this kind of crimes. 110 specialists in the field of information technology from Arab countries participated in this workshop. It also discussed ISQA framework to enhance net security and e-crimes situations in Arab region, in addition to legal system for internet crimes. The Photography Society, which is affiliated to Sultan Qaboos Higher Center for Culture and Sciences, celebrated the inauguration of a 21st annual exhibition for photography in the Wilaya of Asib. During the ceremony, the results of the competition of Omani photographers were announced. The ceremony was presided over by His Highness Sayyid Marwan bin Turki Al Said. The exhibition highlighted a number of photography fields. Coinciding with the 44th Glorious National Day celebrations, Public Authority for Craft Industries organized at the Governorate of Dhofar the 44th National Day exhibition for craft industries. His Excellency Sayyid Mohammed bin Sultan Al Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of Dhofar, presided over the opening ceremony. Craft Industries exhibition came within the activities of the authority in various governorates of the Sultanate. The 9th day exhibition was a great opportunity to the participants to promote their products and industries. Nizwa College of Technology held a ceremony for the graduation of 298 male and female graduates from engineering, commercial studies and information technology sections. The graduates were 265 holders of diploma certificate, 10 were holders of advanced diploma certificates and 23 holders of bachelor degrees. The graduation ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Dr. Khalifa bin Hamad As-Saadi, Governor of the Dakhliya, and attended by Her Excellency Dr. Muna bint Salim bin Khalfan Al-Jardaniya, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Manpower for Technological Education and Vocational Training, besides others. Social Development Department in the Wilaya of Adam in the Governorate of Al-Dakhliya marked Omani Voluntary Day and World Disabled Day. The celebration reflected the existing partnership among various community sectors in the Wilaya to enhance the social work. His Excellency Ahmed bin Hamoud Ad-Dirai, member of the Shura Council in the Wilaya of Adam, presided over the ceremony. Wadi Nam Health Center in the Wilaya of Al-Qabil organized a celebration on the occasion of World Diabetes Day with the interaction of local society and various health and educational programs and activities. The celebration came to reflect society roles provided by workers at health sector to spread awareness messages to limit increasing of diabetes cases. Directorate General of Social Development in the Governorate of Musandam held a ceremony to celebrate the conclusion of events and activities which last for a week on the occasion of Omani Voluntary Day. During the ceremony, a number of volunteers and participants in the event were honored. The activities included awareness campaigns with the importance of voluntary work through school programs, female awareness campaigns, competitions, and entertainment activities. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of low clouds and fog over parts of the governorates of Dhahira, Brahmi, Wusta and the coastal areas. Winds will be northerly to northerly light to moderate among the southern coast, and along the rest of the Sultanate it will be northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be moderate along the southeastern coast and the western coast of the governorate of Musandam with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. Along the rest of the Sultan coast, it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. On behalf of His Majesty the Sultan, His Highness Sayyid Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed shall chair the Sultan's delegation at the 35th Summit Conference of Leaders of Gulf Cooperation Council countries. Municipal Council's seminar recommends the importance of applying all provisions of Municipal Council law, its executive regulations and activation of Municipal Council's responsibilities. Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development announces an initiative to register for obtaining industrial plots with the right of benefit. The 44th Glorious National Day exhibition is opened for the craft industries in the Governorate of Dhofar. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night.